Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We're going to be talking about Kringle Candle Amberwood Moss. Now, this is one of the new fragrances that was recently made available a few weeks ago now when they launched their fall 2025 candle collection. This candle was sent to me in PR. Always like to be very transparent and upfront about that. But if you've been here for any length of time, you guys know I keep it real with you in terms of my reviews, what my thoughts are about the fragrance, as well as my burn experience. And Kringle always is very appreciative of that as well. So I have so far reviewed, I think, 4 out of the 6 fragrances. I believe that this is the 5th fragrance. I have one more after this one to get a review for you. I'm trying to do all of that prior to the Halloween launch that is happening later on this week. So that way, if you have been curious about some of these new fall fragrances but have been waiting upon more reviews, these are going to be my thoughts on this candle. Okay, pour date of this specific candle, I believe, is April 15th, 2025. We have fragrance notes here. Top notes, green, Fougere. Mid notes, stemmy greens, lavandin, and fir. Base note, wood, amber, and moss. So this candle that I'm reviewing here is one of their large 2-wick vessels. It's 22 ounces of 100% soy wax. This candle is also available in a 4-wick, 32 ounces, as well as daylights and wax melts. What does my nose detect here, you guys? This is actually a really nice, fresh, outdoorsy type of fragrance. I would say that it's very safe to say that if you enjoyed springtime's Spanish moss, you will enjoy this fall sibling, I should say, to that fragrance. This, to me, I definitely get a lot of that. It reminds me quite a bit, to be honest with you guys, of Spanish moss. But there is an element to this that makes it a little bit more fall-like, a little bit more autumnal. The mid-note of lavender in here, I know a lot of people are saying that they pick up on that lavender, and I feel like the lavender note in here is used in a way where it's not necessarily like aromatherapy lavender, but the lavender note in here lends almost like like an herbal note to this fragrance that comes across almost slightly cologne-like, but nowhere near, this is nowhere near like a deep cologne, say like the Polo from their Reserve launch, even like Blackjack or anything like that. I wouldn't even say that this is as cologne-y as, say, their Christmas in Manhattan, or what was the other one? This kind of leans, I feel like the lavender in this note kind of lends the same aspect as the lavender note in the Seaside from the Spring Summer Country candle lineup. I feel like it's that same lavender note, but this also just has a very nice greenness to this. It does remind you of being in a forest where there would be some moss growing, but the difference between this one and Spanish moss is that there's something about this that it's hard for me to describe, but it definitely makes me think of not like new life in the springtime, green all around me. This does definitely give a vibe of being in a forest where the leaves are turning. Now, granted, you guys, I don't live in an area where I really get to experience that. If I want to, I could drive about 2.5 hours north up to Flagstaff, or I could drive over to Eastern Arizona, probably about a 4-hour drive that way, to experience like true fall, changing leaves. And even then, you guys, it's mostly pine and aspen here where I live. We don't have like those, like the maple and the oak and all of that kind of stuff that a lot of you guys have in other parts of the United States. So it's hard for me to like really truly say like how authentic this is to like the forest with changing leaves. But I will just say that in my mind, what I would think it would smell like does smell like this. There is something very outdoorsy about this. It's not as crisp say their last year, their Kittens and Cashmere, which was very similar to Bath and Body Works Sweater Weather. It's not as crisp and bold as that, but it is definitely an outdoorsy, fresh type of fragrance, and I do enjoy it. I actually do really like this one. Now, personally, I've enjoyed burning this right now during this time of year, where this kind of feels more of like a fall transitional scent, like summer to fall. I don't think that I would necessarily burn this one in the heart of fall with all of my like pumpkin spice and apple and all of that kind of stuff. Although I do think that it would pair nicely with those fragrances. I haven't quite tried that yet. But yeah, this is just, like I would say, it's kind of like an outdoorsy, fresh, slightly perfumey scent. I do detect some amber there in the base notes. It's nice. It doesn't overtake the fragrance. It doesn't make it too perfumey. But this one is just, it's a very nice outdoorsy fragrance. So if you tend to gravitate towards those type of fragrances in the fall, I think that you would enjoy this one. Let's go ahead and talk about the performance. I'm going to go ahead and turn it around here. So you can see this one is burning really nicely, you guys. I have been trimming the wicks after each burn, but just very, very slightly. I have mentioned this in some of the other reviews. I am finding that with KRINGLE, some of their wicks recently, you want to make sure that you don't trim the wicks too small, because if you do, they are having a little bit of a tendency to want to curl down sometimes. Like you can kind of even see it right there on this back wick. Let me see if you can see that. I don't know if you can really get it there. But they do have a tendency to want to curl just a little bit. So if you trim the wick too short, it will curl down into the wax pool and self-extinguish. So you do want to be aware of that. Strength and throw on this one is a little bit deceptive, I would say. I'm going to go ahead and settle on this one being about a 7. Very, very similar to the Haunted Hallows candle that I reviewed from the Halloween collection. This one, you don't really know. You tend to go a little bit nose blind to it, or I do. Let me rephrase that. I tend to go a little bit nose blind to it when it is in the room. However, if I leave the room and I come back out, it is definitely very present in my open concept. The throw on this one, it gets stronger the longer that you let it burn. The fragrance doesn't really get intensified, but the throw does. So like I said, I've mentioned that sometimes I'll leave the house and come back. I always have somebody here. I have, you know, older children as well as my husband. And sometimes like I'll leave to like go to the grocery store or run an errand. And I don't think that I'm smelling the candle that much, but then I'll walk into the room and I'm like, oh, wow, there it is, you know, and that's what this fragrance is doing for me. But again, it's not going to be headache inducing. If you're somebody who's sensitive to like really strong outdoorsy fragrances, this one is not going to bother you. It's going to be very guest friendly. It just smells very fresh in my house. Not leaning overly autumnal. Like I said, there's no like true autumn spices. There's no gourmand to it. So I think that this is just a really nice fragrance for those of you guys who enjoy more outdoorsy type of fragrances for the fall season. So let me know in the comment box down below if you've picked up on this one or if you picked this one up, what your nose is detecting. I'm always curious to hear what other people are experiencing. Even sometimes when I read like other ambassador reviews or I'm going through the KRINGLE Facebook group, I always just love hearing like the different fragrance notes that different noses are picking up. It's just always interesting to see, you know, how we all have different preferences and also just that different notes will stand out to us. So always curious to hear that. I do have an affiliate discount code with KRINGLE. It is Katie15. It should save you 15% off of your purchase over at KRINGLE. But yeah, it is an affiliate code eligible for a discount. Or not a discount, a commission. You guys, can you tell that I have been filming a lot of candle reviews today? I'm actually batch filming quite a few of these. And so this is my last one that I'm filming for today. And my words are getting all over the place here. I'm getting hungry. I think I need to go eat. So that's probably my sign that I should wrap up this review. Once again, please hit thumbs up if you found it helpful. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I will have one more review for you guys prior to the Halloween launch, and that will be the Whiskey and Embers candle. I will make sure that I give you guys my thoughts so that way all 6 fall candles are covered for you guys. And I am also done reviewing all of the Halloween candles that I will be reviewing for all of you. I know that I did not get to all 12 of the new fragrances. I did hint in the first sniffs preview video that there were some fragrances that just were not for me, and I went ahead and passed those along. So anyways, you guys, we're almost done. We've almost hit the home stretch here, but I need to wrap up this video. I need to go eat something. So once again, you guys, thank you so very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.